time where the Hamashiach is getting ready to come.
And hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I am the Lord.
Last words, brother.
Shalom, ma.
All right.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. All right. Shabbat shalom, Israel.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Yashala.
All right. We're going to give you a few more seconds here.
All right.
They're already putting the one in the chat box.
Khan, all praises, all praises.
Hey, just a couple of house notes here. So, hey, if you can do us a favor, anybody, it don't matter. It can be multiple. Israelites. But when we say the scripture in the verse, if you can just please put that in the chat box so that others can get it and everything. But we always make sure that we say the scriptures as well too, so y'all can get it. But if we can get maybe like a couple of people, one person, whatever, just to jot that scripture wherever the scripture that Eitan quotes or I quote, just go ahead and just put it in the chat box. That'll help us out a lot too. So we'll really appreciate that. And then as far as the calendar, just have patience, Israel. We will be putting that out. We will put it out right before or during the Purim feast. So just be patient with us on that, and we will have that to y'all real soon. All right, Israel. So, hey, look, this is going to be a very intense lesson. It's probably not going to be a really long lesson, but it's going to be very, very intense. And we called it Bitter Old Bags Produce Bimbos in Babylon. Now, Israel, look here. Y'all know we love our women. We love our brothers and sisters. But let me tell you what the scripture says. All right, go ahead and write this down. This is coming from Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. All right, I'll give you a few seconds to get there. That's Isaiah, the book of Isaiah, chapter 58 and verse 1. What does that say? It says, cry aloud, spare not, lift up your voice like a shofar, and show my people their transgressions. Now, does that mean, brother, does that say that we're supposed to just sit quiet?
God, no, absolutely not.
Just let things happen and let our people just do whatever they want?
It's called works for a reason.
That's right. It says, show my people their transgression, and the house of Israel their sins. Look, Israel, we're not prophets, but however, we are commanded through the Torah to cry aloud and spare not. We are doing the same thing that our forefathers were doing, the prophets, okay? Even though we're not prophets, but we are reiterating what the prophets have written through the Holy Spirit in the scriptures. All right, we're not going to stop. Now, it may seem like we always going hard in the paint, and we are for a reason. It is this for a reason. Now, some of you sisters may be like, well, y'all brothers always getting on the women. Why do y'all getting on the women all the time? Why don't y'all get on the men? Y'all know what we do. We get on both, all right? But let me tell you why it seems like we may get on the women a little more. It is because Black women are the only race of people who have been weaponized against the Black man. Now, let me repeat that one more time. It is because the Black women are the only race of people who have been weaponized against the Black man. Now, you may be like, well, brothers, y'all need to prove that. How can you claim that state, that fact? Where's your stats to back that up? Where's the evidence to back that up? Well, Israel, the evidence is right in front of you. Okay. I want y'all to just think about this now. What other race of women that you know of that are weaponized against their men? You look at the Asians, you look at how their family structure is. You look at the white people, how their family structure is. Even though they do have, they deal with feminism in the white culture, but however, the divorce rate is much, much lower than the so-called Black race. You understand, Israel? And this is why this is going to be a very intense lesson, because there's some things that we're going to have to really, really lay down. All right. So let me show you how our women have been weaponized against the Black men. All right. The women's liberation movement that really started back in the mid-50s. All right. The strong independent Black woman. Where did that phrase come from? Who told you you were a strong, independent black woman? Who told you that, Israel? Who told you that you had to be this strong, black, this independent? Black women are the only race of people who go around saying that stuff. Do you hear a Mexican woman saying that I'm a strong, independent Mexican woman? Do you hear an Asian woman going around saying that I'm a strong Asian, independent woman? Do you hear a Chinese going around saying I'm a strong, independent Chinese woman? Like it's some kind of proud thing or something. Weaponization, Israel. Weaponization. That's what you call weaponized. All right. And only our women have been weaponized. All right. You got the welfare system. And brother, feel free to jump in anytime, brother.
God,
You got the welfare system. Okay. When the government became your sugar daddy, that allowed you to get rid of the black man. And you know what's so crazy about it is that they told these women that the more babies you have, guess what? Your sugar daddy, the government, is going to give you another check. It might not be what you want, but it's going to be another check. And guess what? I'm going to give you housing, but I'm going to lower the price for you. And we want you to have all the babies you want. So that way, you can just raise these kids by yourself, but you can't have a man in the house. You can't have a man in the house. You can't be there nowhere near that because the government, we don't want the black man raising his kids. Because we know that if the black man is able to raise their kids like they should, that's going to create a powerful nation. You see the weaponization, Israel? Weaponization. This is what this is. And if our people don't see this, then we're going to be completely destroyed for a very long time. Let me show you another way that our black woman has been weaponized through the judicial and the court systems. Now you may say, well, what do you mean by that? All right, collectively, whenever a black woman decides to break the relationship or breaks the marriage, who normally gets the kids? It's the woman. Now, there have been cases where brothers have won custodies over their kids, but we're talking collectively, Israel. Right? We're talking collectively, and you cannot deny that. You cannot deny collectively that the court system have incentivized the black woman. And this is why so many black men don't even want to get married anymore, because why would they want to get married to a black woman when the black woman benefits from breaking a relationship?
Mm.
When in the Torah, it was completely different. If a woman decided to leave for whatever reason, they left with nothing. They left with what they came in with. And because the inheritance always went to the men and their sons. So Israel, we are fighting a serious battle. And these heathens, the powers that be, have put in play and have weaponized our women. And I don't care. I would debate. Me and Brother Ak would debate anyone who can prove to us that the other races, women, have been weaponized against their men. Just look in front of you, Israel. Look at the stats. Look around you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this stuff is so crazy and it's so out there. Even a 7-year-old child can see this and see what's going on. Now, brother, you got anything before I show this video? Because there's a video. I want to show you a video, and it's of an older couple. Now we're gonna go through. We're gonna start explaining some things, but I want you to say, and this is not to shame these women. All right, they're older women. All right, it's not to shame them, but we're gonna bring out a point, because when you get to a point where you've depended upon government assistance basically all your damn life, you become impaired. You become impaired. If the government is giving you a check all the time, what do you think you're going to really go out and work? And I'm going to tell you something, and I'm just throwing this out there, but if I was in charge, I would take every black woman off of government assistance unless they were crippled. If they can get around and walk on their 2 legs and everything, their ass is going to work. Bottom line. Brother, you got anything to say, brother, before we get to the video?
Other than I'm just going to bring and I'm going to talk about Satan a little bit, and then how just we must still not forget that we're as a people we're under spiritual attack. So it's just the sisters are starting to are starting to succumb to unclean spirits, and I was just going to talk about how Satan is just putting that on our people after we get done explaining this part right here that you're about to bring out.
Okay. Are you ready for the video?
Yo, come man, whenever
All
you're
right,
ready.
Israel. So look, we're gonna show this video, and just like I said, take this with a grain of salt because, and brother, anytime you need me to stop, just let me know.
Okay.
All right, Israel, here we go.
Monday, telling them that regardless of when their lease.
A notice unexpected in mailboxes. Eviction notices sent out to some families in South Fulton who rely on Section 8 housing vouchers to keep a roof over their heads.
Yeah, they're being told that their apartment complex will no longer accept those federal housing vouchers. This is happening at the Beacon Ridge Apartments.
Okay, so let me stop here for a moment. I just want to bring something out. So of course, everybody knows what Section 8 is. And anybody who's on Section 8 is getting some kind of government system, all right, whether it's wherefore, whether EBT cards or what have you. But there's some changes that are being made across the nation, Israel, and they're getting ready to put the lockdown on this stuff. So,
Old National Highway, College Park.
Atlanta News First reporter Adam Murphy live outside that complex tonight. Adam, what are these families going to do?
Well, first off, good evening, guys. I can tell you I spoke with several of the tenants out here, and they told me they believe as many as 60 Section 8 residents received eviction notices, and they were told they had to move out of this property by the 1st of next year. I read some of those eviction notices, and nowhere in those letters does management explain why they made this decision.
It's not right. They don't care about us.
For more than a decade.
All right. So you see where she said that it's not right. They don't care about us. Why would they care about you? Israel, explain that to me. Why would the government really care about our people? Can you give me a reason why the government would care about our people?
Absolutely not. It's just a trick of the devil. It's just this trick of Satan. Satan, what he's going to do, he's going to use you to get his way, right? To destroy you. Once he's done, right, and you're all used up, right? He's, and you're no use to him anymore, right? Satan's going to cast you aside. You dealing with these devils that are up under Satan, because Satan is the ruler of this earth at the moment, right? What do you think is going to happen to you? It's like you just go ahead, man. Break it out. So just go ahead, man. Continue.
Yeah. And see, in Israel, this goes with Ecclesiastes 12. It says, "Do not trust your enemies." But it's like, man, when are we going to ever learn? And as long as our people keep depending upon this stuff, they're going to continue to be crippled. All right, I'll play the rest of this here.
Most of these ladies made Beacon Ridge Apartments their home.
Yeah, I ain't got nowhere to go. But they just don't care.
But now these Section 8 residents are being forced to find another place to live and have not been told why.
How they just gonna put us out like that? They ain't said why we got to move. I ain't did nothing. I ain't did a thing.
Okay, let me stop it right there, y'all. It is sad. Now again, this is not to shame our sisters, but we need to bring this stuff out so you can see the reality. Because when you turn away from the Torah, this is a serious thing. When you turn away from the Torah and you decide to go completely opposite, whether you're a brother or a sister, you're going to reap the consequences. All right, these ladies, I mean, this is like 4 of them, but I'm talking about they represent millions of our seniors and women out there who have depended upon this government assistance and didn't do anything to better themselves, didn't do anything to try to come out or turn back to the Torah. All right. And she made one statement. She says that I didn't do anything. I didn't do nothing. Well, you're damn right. You did nothing. And that's just the problem. You did nothing. And you depended upon a system for decades.
Depended upon the heathen, right?
Heathens that don't even care about you. And only reason why they're incentivizing you on Section 8 and everything is because they want to keep you having babies. They want to keep you weaponized against the black men, because really, when you really think about it, if you really want to destroy a brother, weaponize the black woman. Seriously, if you really want to destroy the black Israelite man, weaponize the Israelite woman.
It's not just the men either; it's the nation, right?
Yep.
It's just, you know, we're built to work together, right? We're not built to work apart from each other, right? The Most High's design is not that of Babylon. Like modern day Babylon, in my opinion, it would be all of the West, right? All of the Western world, right? Because the rest of the world over there, while Iraq and, you know, and things of that nature, right? They're still holding their traditional values, right? You know what I'm saying? But sadly, it looks like it's starting to leak over there too as well, right? Because the Babylon that's come from Babylon and this wickedness and this everybody's equal, let's join hands, and all races are cool, and, you know, let's just mix up the races, and then let's not just give a damn about what the Most High has created. That's a problem, right? That's a problem. And then so far it seems that it's deeply rooted, and the deepest rooted in our people and our females, right? Come straight out of slavery into this stuff, right? Entitled, they don't need no man, you know, straight out of slavery, right? We don't have our own last names, we don't have nothing, right? But yet we have a war within the nation between the men and the women. It is just ridiculous, right? You know what I mean? So much so is that we got brothers, they flying out into other nations, and now you got sisters online asking the brothers to please come back. You know, that if you it's just so aggravating that it takes going up to that point for people to start realizing that there's a damn problem.
Yeah, right, exactly. And you can't say that the black man was weaponized, you know, against the black woman, because we were always the target. That's the problem. We were the targets, because when you read the Torah and the way the Torah is built and written, it was designed for the man to be the priest, to be the leader. But when the heathens came and they changed all that, and we didn't have to fall for that stuff, but a lot of our women fell for that stuff. And one thing I hate when a woman says is that, well, the men decided to leave. So you mean to tell me that these Israelite brothers just woke up one morning and just decided, oh, we don't want no black woman no more? You got to understand the process of decades that took to develop to this point. All right. And a lot of this stuff was due to the black woman being weaponized against the black man. You can argue, you can deny it all you want to, but the facts are right there in front of your face.
Let me bring out the scripture out.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, give me. Let me see.
And I'll play some more of this video when you do that. But Israel, man, we just gotta wake the hell up and realize what's really going on with our people.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, Satan, right? I want y'all to understand, right, that above all, right, you know, just like it says in Ephesians 12, right? You know, I mean, in Ephesians 6, you know, we got Luke chapter 4, right? We know that Satan is running the show, right? I want you to understand that, you know, behind all this wickedness, these unclean spirits, right? These agendas, right? To have the, the sisters, fighting against the men, to gain some kind of masculinity that they don't have, and then to effeminize the brothers, right? This is all a plot of Satan, right? You got to realize it says 2 Corinthians, right? The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 4, right? Verses 3 and 4. It says, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. Our meaning the Israelites, right? Our gospel, right? Be hid. It is hid to them that are lost, right? In whom the God, little g, we're talking about Satan right here, of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not. So if you don't believe in the truth, right? If you don't understand that we are the Israelites, that we have to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, things of this nature, you're going to be blinded. You're going to be blinded by this, by the woes of Satan, right? All the deviltry, all the wickedness and stuff like that these heathens are putting on our people. It says, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine upon them. So that's telling you what? That Satan is working overtime to keep you blind, to make sure that they want you to have babies out of wedlock. That's what Satan wants. You got to understand, right? Satan is a perfect being, but being in a perfect being, right? Because the Most High created him perfect. He's doing exactly what he is created to do, right? To take as many as Hebrews as he can to the grave, right? Straight to the lake of fire. That's what his agenda is. Right. And then you have to think about it from his standpoint. Because we know that in Ecclesiasticus it says that what? The Most High hated wickedness. Right. So it essentially, the Most High created something that he hates. That's why he's going to destroy Satan and he's going to put him in the lake of fire. Right. So he is, you know what I'm saying? So his whole existence is like a conundrum because Most High just created him only to destroy him at a later time. And he knows this. So he's going to try to get as many of you as possible to join him. You think, man, he's upset that you got the ability, right, to repent, that you have the ability to get a spiritual body and live for eternity. You don't think that he is upset about that situation, right? And the Most High created him to go into the lake of fire, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't think the Most High pulls the strings? You don't think the Most High? Hold up, man. Let me get let me get Exodus real quick, right? Let me get Exodus real quick because I want to show you, right? Pharaoh, right? 4:21. All right, okay, boom, right? It says, right, when Moses was trying to was following what the Most High said, trying to get the Israelites free from out of Egypt, right? The Most High purposely made Pharaoh buck only to show Israel, to show off for Israel, to show how great he is. He purposely made him, you know what I'm saying? It was nothing nobody could do to convince him. Of course, any man with any common sense after them plagues came, you would have let them folks go, right? But it said right here, Exodus chapter 4, and it says, and the Lord said unto Moses, when thou goest to return into Egypt, see that thou doest all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thine hand, but I will harden his heart. You see that right there? It says, but I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go, right? That's the puppet master. The Most High is playing the puppet master on purpose because he doesn't care about these heathen. Right? He only cares about our people. That shows you right there how the Most High, he puts his hand into things and he forces people to do things. Right? This is the same way, right? That you got to understand that Satan is here by the Most High's will. It's the game. You can either follow the Most High and keep the commandments, or you can follow Satan and land your ass in the lake of fire. Go ahead, Doc.
Yep, and you might want to bring out. I want to bring out another scripture too. Go with that. So now that's a good point you brought out. Now, when you go to write down Zechariah chapter 13 and verse 9. Zechariah 13 and verse 9. And I'm gonna tell you because Satan is he's right. Brother is right. Satan was created to be the total opposite and to try to get as many of our people as possible into the lake. You know what? But the Most High is going to try his people as well. It says, I will bring the third part through the fire and will refine them as silver is refined and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name and I will hear them. But this is going to get to a point where so many of our people are just going to die out and they're going to be lost. Now, the 2/3 have already been destroyed, Israel. So this camp doctrine, get it out your head. You can read Ezekiel chapter 5.
Hey, do me a favor, right? You know what I'm saying? To tie in with that scripture, bring up Job 1 and 7. Job chapter 1 and 7. Now, I want y'all to pay attention. In this verse, it says, I will try them as gold is tried, right? That means the Most High is going to try you. He's going to put you through trials and tribulations, right? Job chapter 1, verse 7, right? And I want to, and you know what I'm saying? And I want to show you something, right? You know what I'm saying? What is the instrument that the Most High is going to use to try you with, right?
You said Job what?
Job chapter 1, verse 7. Right?
Oh, sorry. There you go.
Right. And Yahweh said unto Satan, right? Oh, let's lock you.
All right.
All right, come, right? It says, and Yahweh said unto Satan, from whence come you? Then Satan answered Yahweh and said, then Oh, okay. I don't like that translation, but that's not right. But that's supposed to be Yahweh Shai. Okay. Then Satan answered Yahweh Shai and said, "From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it." Right. What does that mean? Right. Satan is just out there. He's walking the earth up and down in it, to and fro. Right. And he's tempting. He's sowing seeds of doubt, sowing seeds of wickedness, false doctrines, right? This is what he's doing, right? This is just a random day, right? He happened to run into Hamashiach, and Hamashiach was like, "Yo, man, yo, homie, man, where the been? So where the hell you been at?" Saying was like, "Hey, man, I'm just wandering around, doing as much wickedness, doing as much wickedness as I possibly can, right?" Hey. You read the next verse, right? It says, and Yahweh Shai said unto Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job?" Right? That there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that fears Yahweh and eschews evil. Right? Now check it out. Then Satan answered Yahweh Shai and said, "Does Job fear Yahweh for nothing?" Right? For not? Have you not made it a hedge around him and about his house? Right. So what does that mean? That Satan has already seen Job. He didn't even bother tempting him because he knew that the Most High already was protecting him all the way around. You said that he says, "Have you not made a hedge about him?" That's what happens when you keep the law, statutes, and commandments.
Yep.
You're going to get a hedge about you. But as you see, that Satan, he's just out there. He's tempting you. He's sowing false doctrine, doing all these things, and trying to make sure that you're going to get destroyed in the end, that you're going to end up at the same place he does, which is the lake of fire. And he's been programmed. His biology has been written in the spiritual code of Yahweh who made him to get as many wicked niggas as possible.
And the sad part about it is that a lot of our people don't even realize they're being played and used, and especially the women that's being weaponized. They don't even know it. You talk to the average sister, she wouldn't even realize that she has been weaponized. Won't even know it. And that's the sad part about it, Israel.
One more scripture, and then we can go back to the video. Could you jump to Revelation 20?
Yep.
I forgot what verse it is. I think it's verse 8 or 7 or 8.
What verse you looking for?
Go to 7. 7 is good. 7. Start at 7.
Okay.
Right. And it says, when 1,000 years are expired, right, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. Now, this is during the end time, right? And shall go out to do what? To deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. And they went up on the breadth of the earth, compassed the camp of the quarter of Jerusalem about, and the beloved city, and fire came down from Yahweh out of heaven and devoured them, right? And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone. Who was the devil that deceived them? Let's go back up to verse 7.
Yep.
Right? Who was the devil that deceived them? Let's go back up to verse 7. Right? Because it's going to tell you. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of prison and shall go out to deceive the nations. Right? So let's go to see what's going to happen to him. Right? Because, he's going to take you with him. And the devil that deceived him was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. Who knows if that's literal, literal or what, but that sounds terrifying to me, right? That sounds kind of terrifying to me, I mean, I don't know, Israel. You know, it says that, you know, Satan, that's what he does. He tricks people, right? You know what I'm saying? He convinces you by deception, lies, and wickedness to go against the Most High.
And Israel, we're in no way saying that the heathens are off the hook, because they're destroyed anyway. It's just that Satan, because Satan is using them as a medium to attack our people and to put us in this situation and everything. And I want to bring out one. Do you have another scripture you want to bring out? I want to bring out.
I just thought of that friend of the world. You know what I'm saying? If you're a friend of the world, you ain't a friend of God. So all this stuff that you know, people are doing in the world, right? If you're with that stuff, if you're not with you know, what the Most High is saying, you know, you're headlong into wickedness.
All right, I'm gonna pull up scripture. I'm gonna get back to the video. So let's look at Job 9:24. I'm gonna show y'all something. So if y'all don't know this, it says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Did I say given into the hands of the righteous? No, it says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. No, we gave this messed up when we decided to go against the Torah. He covers the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So we know that Satan is using the powers that be to put the squeeze on our people. And this video that we're showing, this is just a fraction. This is just a fraction of what's happening, the end result. All right, let me finish.
Several residents received notices on Monday telling them that regardless of when their lease is up, they are required to surrender the premises to management on or before January 31st of next year, and that failure to do so will result in legal action.
So I'm just really concerned about that, and so they hadn't gave us but 60 days to move.
How you gonna find a place to move and they getting your best day in January?
See, this is what happens. Like when you depend upon the government for so long like this, you become stagnant. You become stagnant. You're getting that money coming in. You're getting that check coming in. You know, the government is being your sugar daddy. You just sitting back, relaxing, and it's like, okay, well, this is gonna last forever. I'm not gonna worry about it. Then all of a sudden, this comes up, and now all of a sudden, you know, you the victim. You running all around like a chicken with your head cut off. You know, Israel, this is on us. This is on us.
So Atlanta News First went to
you want to say something?
No. Go ahead. I you know, I'll bring it out in a minute. Go ahead, brother.
Office to find out why they're evicting Section 8 residents, but they locked the door and never called us to explain.
There's a lot of us out here that ain't got nowhere to go, and then it's hard to find Section 8.
And the mayor of South Fulton just arrived.
That's pretty much it. So I mean, that's
okay. Right. This is. Let me bring this out right quick. Let me put this on the screen. All right, Israel, check it out. Right. This is Luke chapter 4, verses 5, 6, and 7. Okay. This is Satan. Right. This is Satan, and you know, he's harassing Hamashiach, right, during the time that he's you know, getting down with the fasting. All right, because he's trying to get closer to his father, right? Going through something. So it says, this is chapter 4. This is chapter 4 of Luke. And the devil, taking him up into a high mountain, showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. Right? I want y'all to think about that, right? If the world was round, right, could you see all the world? Yeah, absolutely not. So it's another. If you believe in the scriptures, you believe that the world is not no ball spinning in the middle of nowhere. All right. Verse 6. And the devil said unto him, all this power I will give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me. You heard that right there? See, that lets you know that Satan is running the show here, right? It says that, and the devil said unto him, all this power I will give thee. And what is all the power, right? He said that he was going to give Hamashiach all the kingdoms of the world for him to rule, right? But guess what? It's not Hamashiach's time to rule yet, right? The Most High has put Satan in charge because wickedness is taking over the earth, right? It says, all this power will I give thee and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will, I give it. If thou therefore will worship me, all shall be thine. Now, of course, he gets rebuked, right, by Hamashiach, right? But nevertheless, right, that goes to show you the power, right, that Satan has. Now, you got to remember, now in the beginning, right, you see how this was, you know, how he was tempting here, right? He was tempting Hamashiach here. If Hamashiach took the bait, right, and disobeyed his father, right, and took those riches for that, short time, that finite time, what do you think would have happened to him, right? It's not worth the end result. So the exact same way, right, that he was tempted is the same way how Satan has tempted the daughters of Zion.
Now I want to bring out something else too. Now notice that Satan waited until he was, after he had, he was fasting, he was
He
deep
was
into his
weak.
fast and everything. He was weak.
Right.
Now this is how the heathen have come after our women in the time of desperation and everything, in their weakest moment. Here, you can be independent, black and strong. You can get on welfare, and we're going to give you all the money. Oh, that sounds like a good idea at the time, And if you have more babies, we're going to give you an extra check. Your sugar daddy, the government, is going to give you more money. You see what I'm saying? And we were at a time where we were really hard oppressed. I mean, we're still oppressed now, but 60s and the 50s is one of those times where it was just, the squeeze was being put hard on our people. So now people were looking for a way out, like quick way out. So this is, it's a great analogy that you brought out and everything, because this is what he does. Comes out our people, and we're already at the bottom. We're already the tail, not the head.
God, right.
What yes, let's bring out, because I want to bring out something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I want to show y'all, and this may stir up some thoughts in your mind as well, too, brother. Go to Proverbs 29 and verse 2, Israel. Proverbs, and hey, we appreciate you writing the scriptures in the chat box. Appreciate that. It says Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So this is like, okay, when during King David's time, all right, we were at the height of our power. Why? Because we were keeping the laws, Israel. We were keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes. But when the wicked is in rule, then that gives Satan even more ammunition to come in and attack. Why? Because see, Israel, we are the strong man that was bound. All right, we are the strong man that was bound. And when you turn the women against the black man, and then you have all these other things that are being against the Israelite man, the prison systems and everything like that, is because we are the target, Israel. Now I'm going to show you another one to precept this one. So go to Proverbs chapter 11. Let me pull that up right quick. Proverbs chapter 11. And let's look at verses 10 through 11. So again, that's Proverbs chapter 11 and verses 10 through 11. It says, when it goes well with the righteous, the city rejoice. And when the wicked perish, there is shouting. By the blessings of the upright, the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. That's some serious stuff, Israel. That's the time that we're living in real time right now. Because yes, we have failed to oblige by the Torah, and therefore everything is out of whack, it's out of order. What you got, bro?
Well, the same thing, just to going back, dealing with, how Satan is pretty much in control of this situation. Now, no matter what people like to say, right? Like they want to try to doubt the scriptures, right? And how the beginning went down. Some people, they don't like to believe in the Adam and Eve story. They don't like to believe that, that Eve was bamboozled by a talking animal, right? They don't want to believe that, right? But, right, what does reality project, right? When you really look at it. Let's say if we look back at all these businesses and companies and things, right? Women make up 80% of the consumer debt, right? Because the companies mainly advertise to women. Why? Why do they advertise to women and not to men? Right? It's because they're easily, let me see, I wouldn't say gullible, right? But they're more easily convinced to do things, right, than it would be of a man, right? It even says it in the scriptures that, you know, it's because of the simple fact that Eve was tricked and not Adam, right? You know, when God is laying forth the order, right? The order of how things are supposed to be run in the earth, right? As you see today, right? All the everything that we see, right? You know, all of it is pretty much just geared towards women, right? That's because they want them to make the you know, like them to come out and them to spend the money and things of that nature, so the companies can make more money. When you were you know, getting married, right, and not out in the workforce and not contributing to taxes and things of that nature, right, you were an untaxable a pool, right? No one could come out there. I mean, like you guys were untaxable at that time. But as we know, right, filthy lucre, right, money is the root of all evil. We see these heathens, right, and they are and they've been convinced, right, they have been convinced by the devil, right? Let's go hold up real quick. Go to Ephesians 6. Go to Ephesians 6 and 11, if you don't mind. Go to Ephesians 6 and 11 real quick, right? Right, they've been convinced by these you know, these top people, these the shadow government, the Illuminati, right, things of that nature, right? Yeah, right there it is, right there, right? It says, like, first it says, I'm gonna start at verse 11. It says, put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And you know, that's just what's going on, right? You know, we're being easily duped, easily convinced as a people, right? That you know, and Satan's just not on the women either, right? Because you know, he's done his part. He's done his part by creating 73% of our community being single mothers, right? Because when they're single mothers, guess what? The men are easier to manipulate. Satan can easily manipulate the men. Because why? Right? Because they have never had a man in the home, right, to teach them things according to, you know, like how things are working. If you're being raised by the weaker vessel, right? What is that? You know, that's going to set you up for failure. And these heathen and this government, right? This spiritual wickedness in high places. These people know these things, right? That's why they are attacking the sisters. Hey, look, we're not taking nothing from the sisters. Hey, the sisters are a great helpmeet, right? I mean, like they can be a complete asset if they were doing, you know, if they were in righteousness and doing as most high, you know, demands them to do, right? But because they have taken the, you know, the pill of the heathen, right, the drugs of these heathen, and have just wholeheartedly believed in their doctrine. Look at the, you know, say they don't even understand the state of our people. They will look back and they will tell you that they have done a good job raising these kids. They have done a good job raising, you know, single mothers. Well, I was strong. I was able to provide. That is not raising a child of the Most High correctly. Just because you were able to give them cereal every day or able to provide, you know, food, clothes, and shelter. You need more than that. That's why it's a two-parent household, right? If you look at through it, well, I mean, it's a man and there's a woman in every household. That's the biblical design.
Israel, bottom line, look, if they were to take, let's just say if they were to take welfare by the government, let's say they just automatically they just stopped it. You know, it would be good for several reasons. Let me tell you why. It's going to hurt a lot of women. Yeah, it's going to sting really bad. But you know what? Our people will not end up being so crippled, because what's going to happen is the next generation, they're going to realize, oh man, I gotta get myself right. I gotta start knowing my worth. I guarantee you, in less than probably 10 years, you'll have more virgins than you can shake a stick at. And it's crazy, y'all, because you know, at the end of the day, nobody's going to be able to say that Satan made me do it. Nobody's going to be able to say that, well, it was Satan, so I should get a free pass because Satan was making me do that stuff. You got to ask yourself, Israel, what is our responsibility in all this? All right. So the obvious thing is turning back to the Torah. That's the obvious thing. That should be a given right there. But the things that we can do as the sisters, look, especially these young sisters, keep your damn legs closed. Brothers, Stop screwing everything that is to the Pookies and Ray Ray. Stop screwing everything that moves. All right, because we can make a difference in this, but we're gonna have to do our part. And like brother said earlier, it's going to involve a lot of work, Israel. And now gearing towards the senior women, this is where we really, really need you to come into play, because it's going to be your duty through the Most High to talk to these younger women and train them. Now, yeah, they're going to give you much slack. They're going to give you a hard time. They're going to probably curse you out, but you gotta do your part. And when you look at Titus, let's look at this. And brother, I don't know too many women who are doing this right now. I don't see nothing. I don't see no senior daughters of Zion that's out there got channels that are specifically teaching these women how to be women and submit and how to keep their roles. All right. Now I see a bunch of brothers out there that are teaching, these brothers how to live and how to be a man, but I do not see the women collectively out there teaching this. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
God.
All right, let's look at Titus 2. Because this is what the responsibility is, Israel. It says the aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as in becoming in the fear of Yahweh, not false accusers. What's happening right now? So when you have this whole system of welfare and you have all these women raising these single babies and stuff like that, all that jealousy comes into play and false accusing, all kinds of stuff. But really it started 7 decades ago. And it led to a firestorm, just like that video we showed you all. These same women were probably the same ones who told their daughters, and they didn't need no man. You can do it on your own and all that kind of stuff, because they were depending upon the system. And now look at the end result of that. You know what I'm saying? And look, Israel, you're not going to be able to show me anywhere in the scriptures where the Most High saves us as individuals. Look, this is what it is. Either we're in it all the way or we're not. Either we're going to be saved or we're going to be destroyed. When the Most High brought the children of Israel out of Mismarim, guess what? He brought all of them out. He didn't just bring a few of them out. He brought all of Israel. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Did the Most High just bring a select few out of Egypt?
Oh God, no, man. He brought all of them,
Exactly.
and then even a couple of strange folks too. They had to get
Exactly.
separated.
Brought the whole shebang. So I'm saying,
Yeah.
the Most High saves us not by individual, but as a whole. The hands go with the rest of the body, the arms, the feet, everything works in unison. All right. So you can't say, and that's why, like, when people like, well, don't worry about these folks. Well, we are as weak as we're as strong as our weakest link. Israel. So we have to keep pushing this out. We have to keep crying out. And if our senior women don't want to fulfill their duties and they just want to sit around and let these young women just run wild, it's gonna get worse. It's just gonna get worse. It says the aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as in becoming in the fear of Yahweh, not false accusers, not given too much wine, teachers of good things, moral values, y'all. Now you got these young women out there shaking their asses and twerking and all kinds of stuff. That's some kind of prodigy or something. It's a crime shame that they may teach the young women to be sober. That's just not talking about a person abstaining from alcohol, but that's talking about being in a character, being virtuous. Proverbs 31. All right, that's a prime example of being sober.
Right now, all of a sudden, if something good happened to you and you be happy, then all of a sudden you start twerking. You know what I'm saying? That's just.
Well, see,
that's
exactly. See, this is the thing. And brother, you just brought up about how the heathens are pushing all this stuff, and this is what the heathens are pushing.
Oh, I got a verse for it too.
Yeah, you go ahead and bring that verse up right quick, and then I'll come back to this. But Israel, this is what they have pushed on our people, and especially through the music industry, all that stuff. And our people just love it up like gravy on rice. Oh, I'm gonna finish this one out right quick. It says,
okay,
love their men, to love their children, to love their men. All right, let me repeat. I might have to repeat that 3 times. To love their men. That's a powerful one right there, because it's war right now.
But also too, right? I want you to understand that because the Most High had to actually put that in there, right? That means that sometimes loving your man ain't gonna be easy, right? Because you gotta because you have to be taught that. It's not something that comes naturally to you, right? It's something that has to be taught. Just the same way how it says the next to love their children, right? This needs to be taught. Not every woman or sister is able to love their children correctly. Are you loving your children if you if you put them in these public schools and give them away to the heathen, right? Put them in daycare instead of being submissive to the man that you made the child with, right? Is that truly loving your child? No, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely not. That's damn sure ain't loving the man, right? But that's definitely not learning. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, let's just think about it, right? You have these babies, right? And then you give them to the damn heathen and let them raise them. Put them in these damn daycare centers, all these, like every curriculum, right, is made up by the damn heathen, right? You put them in the schools, curriculums made up by the heathen. You're the only thing you're doing is producing more Gentiles. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
And the fact that going back to this whole welfare system thing, see, and this is the way the government designed it, because see, when you starting to depend upon government assistance, and when the home is broken up, you don't have that extra cushion. Now you're a one person financial, income person, and then you have to raise these kids on your own and everything, and then you had no other choice but to put them in public schools and everything, because back in the 50s, most of the Israelite families were homeschooling their own kids because they realized that they didn't want to throw their kids to the wolves. But now the heathens have gotten our people so entwined and integrated, where it's just to the point where they just is nothing's wrong with it. It's just like the scripture says in Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. All right, let me finish this off. To love their children. We were never ever supposed to be in this situation. And when you look at the statistics on marriages, black women, it's like they're 76, it's like 76 point something percent are not married. And out of those, a lot of those, they have children that they're raising by themselves. But this is the scenario that the heathens have put on our people. Verse 5, to be
Well, hold on real quick, too, right? I want to say something else, right? Now, these little three verses that the brother Daniel's read, and there's verses too, but the Most High does not really speak directly to women that often in the scriptures, right? As you see, most of it is pretty much directed toward men. But the little bit of scriptures he does have that's in there that is directly, directed straight towards women. I mean, I'm pretty sure it would behoove you to follow those.
Yeah.
It's not that many. Right. It's not like, you have all of those, things that the Most High, you see him directly talking to the man about. Hey, I need you to do this so you can lead this. And so you can put in the work so this can happen. I need you to do this, and this. Right. The sisters. Right. If you look, right, most of the most of your work in the scriptures is small. It's not even a lot that the Most High is asking out of you guys. It's an easy life, really. Right.
Yeah, and when you think about it, when it came to the offerings and everything, you would never ever find in a Torah where a woman offered offerings for her whole family. It was always the man. And if the woman was widowed, guess what? The priest would do it.
I mean, like, y'all didn't even have to worry about that. Imagine not having to worry about giving offerings to the Most High when you done seen brothers and sisters, tried to give an offering to the Most High and got immediately destroyed. Or the brother wouldn't know what was going on, and that was your husband up there trying to light it up with the green flame, and he get destroyed. You see what I'm saying? I mean, like, all these things that y'all don't have to worry about. It's the easy life to get to the kingdom. You don't got to do nothing but just keep the commandments. I mean, it's not that hard. I mean, like, how hard is it really? Just to sit back and chill. And then all you gotta do is sit back and chill, right? Don't do anything wicked. And I mean, like, stuff is in the scriptures plain. It's very easy to understand, right?
Yeah. Well, because of the one
simplistic con.
Yeah, because of the one that be independent. When you really go back, Eve was like the first one. When she decided to go against her man, and she became independent at that very moment. I mean, it's serious, and that stuff travels through our genetics. It passes down. All right,
I
verse
mean,
4, that they may
huh.
teach all the young women to be sober, to love their men, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home. Now, this is so foreign right now. This is like you couldn't even. I mean, man, we're so out of order, and for something like this to register would almost take a miracle for a lot of our people to see this. But thank the Most High that you still have sisters out there that who believes this, who understands this. Says good, obedient to their own men. And like brother says, the men is not always easy, especially in these time and days. All right. Now we're not saying that you're supposed to sit up in the house and just allow the man to beat up on you all the time and everything, because there are instructions for that. You can separate, you just can't remarry, but you can separate. That is the law.
Yeah, don't ever put up with any kind of
So,
abuse.
so we're not saying that you have to sit here and take slug shots from a
Right.
man.
Yeah, you're taking the abuse, you can get up out of there, and then
because
and then
if
see
the
if
man
y'all
was
can reconcile.
exactly, because if the man was truly a just man, which means keeping the laws, he wouldn't be hitting on his woman anyway.
God.
All right.
Or
Says that the
physical
word,
or verbal abuse or any of that.
exactly. And you know what? I want to bring out something else too. See, the Most High designed it, Israel, where brother, anytime you brought out a good point, where it's like back in the days, the women didn't really have to do anything but just manage the home, and that's the way it was. Everything it seemed like back in the 50s, and I wasn't living back in the 50s, but my grandparents and everybody that talks about the 50s, it was a whole different world then, and it's like there was more love. You saw more love in the families. You saw the roles being played out. The men they went home. I remember, my granddad would just bring the check home and give the money to my grandmother. Just like
Yeah.
that's the way it was. The men came home and they just handed their whole checkbook, handed all their money to the woman. The woman took care of everything, and it was like that's what I'm talking about, y'all. That's the way the Most High had designed it. But we had to fall prey to these damn heathens in their ways. It says that the word of Yahweh be not blasphemed. What does that mean? We're blaspheming because we are going totally against the Torah. So it's evident that there's a serious problem within Israel, and it's only within Israel. Right? Like we said in the beginning, the black woman is the only race of women that has been totally weaponized against the black man, the Israelite man. But you may say, well, was the black man weaponized against the Israelite woman? No. Why? Because we were the head. We are the priest. All right. Now, was there things put in place to destroy the Israelite man? Absolutely. The prison system, the biggest one, and the emasculation of the men. And again, when women are raising nothing but children, boys, young boys by themselves, guess what? They're going to take on the emotions of their women, and of course, there's some cases where single women are raising their kids and they're pretty strict on them and everything. But, collectively, this is what we're seeing. And this is why we're seeing a rise in homosexuality, seeing a rise in lesbianism. Because when everything is out of order, Israel, guess what? It's going to be out of order.
I want to bring out one point too, right?
It's going to be straight up chaos.
Right. Dealing with this one particular part where it says obedient to their own men.
Mm-hmm.
Now it says their own men, right? That means you don't got to, say you're not going to have other men out there trying to tell you what to do. Say like, for example, right, a married woman, right? If you're out there and you're running around, right, you don't have to worry about any other man bothering you. You don't have to any other man telling you what to do or doing any of that. You know why? Because you have a husband. He's the barrier between you and any other wild niggas that want to be out there, that want to try to tell you something, to try to tell you what to do, or any of that. You have the protection right in front of you, right? It's a God-given design. It's glorious.
That's right.
Once it's held up correctly.
See, I have a rule, Israel, and you all know this already. Everybody who subscribed to me know this. But whenever I get an email from a married sister, the first thing I'll ask is, "Are you married?" And if she says yes, the first thing I'll tell her is to have your husband email me. That's the way it should be. No man should be dealing with a married woman. Period.
Facts.
Period. All right. That man that she is married to needs to come to you, and y'all need to deal with things as men. I hate that.
God.
When I get emails from married women and they're asking like these questions, stuff like that, and I got it. It's honest and everything, but they don't understand. So I have to kindly tell them, hey, have your I don't care if he's not in the faith, have your husband email me, and I will deal with him. And that's the way they did in the Torah, and that resolved all problems. And plus, our women were covered up too. Our women were covered up, Israel, because think about it: when you got women out there in these tight jeans and they loose clothes now, they walking around half naked. Yeah, you're gonna tempt the brothers. The brothers are gonna look. But you think that they're not gonna look when you walk by and you dress like that and you dress like a harlot, and they're not gonna just look and see what's going on. When you go to the Middle East and everything, Afghanistan, all the women are covered from head to toe. And that covers the features of these women. Your own privacy, is supposed to be between you and your husband. Now, if it's just you and your husband in the room, she could walk around butt naked. You know what I'm saying? Because you're in the privacy of your home, but you walking like that out in public. And I see a lot of married people with their wives are just walking around half naked.
Yeah.
Like they're just proud.
That's a no-go for me.
You know what I'm saying? Israel, that's just how out of order we are. All right, bring it out.
We're gonna go to Isaiah, the book of Isaiah, chapter 47. I'm gonna start in verse 6. I'm gonna read 4 verses, right? But we'll start at verse 6. It says, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient, thou hast very heavily laid thy yoke. Right now, I want you to understand that this is Babylon, right? You're saying this is scripture. We're talking about Babylon here, right? And this is the same thing that we got going on today, right? The yoke was laid heavy upon the ancients, right? And thou said, right, these heathens said, I'm going to be a lady forever. And thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Therefore, hear now this, thou art given to pleasures and dwellest carelessly, and saith in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall sit not as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. Now, let's say, for example, I want to compare that to our people. All right. What are we doing right now in Babylon? Right. We're sitting in Babylon. We're saying that we don't know God, and we're just giving over to the pleasures of these heathen. Right. The majority of our people dwelling carelessly. Right. They said, hey, they don't believe in God. There's none beside me. I'm doing this thing because I'm strong and independent, and I don't need no man. Or you know what? I'm going to take these little babbles that these heathens give me, and I'm gonna talk about my people, right? I'm gonna get on the rap song, and I'm gonna say how I'm gonna rob my brother, I'm gonna kill my brother, and I'm gonna call my women, bitches and hoes, right? Hey, not only that, but it's so down and deep into the unclean spirits our people have become that the women are down with the songs. They be singing the songs. They say, I'm a bad bitch. Are you kidding me right now? What is that? That doesn't make a bit of sense. You a bad dog? I mean, ain't that what the rappers were calling you? Y'all were upset. It doesn't compute, right? But these two things, and then of course, right? Y'all not considered as a widow. You know why? Because y'all have so many damn husbands, like the whore in the scriptures, right? What Hamashiach said to the woman, you didn't have 5 husbands. Damn. Right? Neither shall you know the loss of children. Because we got baby mamas galore. Even though, right, y'all died 3 times, y'all have 3 times as difficulty. Y'all would die 3 times as much in childbirth than these damn heathen, right? Y'all have managed to kill and abort 20 million Israelite babies. Right? What the brothers are doing? The brothers ain't doing nothing either. They're just letting these women do it. Right?
I want to bring out something, and you know what's so crazy about it? It's like one brother, like for example, you got one brother that might get like, they be getting the same woman's pregnant. They might get like 6 or different, like 10 different women pregnant, but it's by the same dude. You see what I'm saying? And this is why you got the Pookie Ray Rays and everything, and these baby mamas. That's why they're having all these children, and then they have different They have different daddies because it's the same dude that's going around pretty much per every 10 women, that's having all these babies and stuff. So you got to understand, the whole gravity that's going on here.
But these two shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for a multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. Do y'all want to be caught up in Babylon when this is going down? Right? Because y'all are eating the fruit of Babylon. Right? For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness and hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted me. He, him, they, her, LGBTQ, XYZ, right? The Me Too movement, we all equal. This isn't wisdom and knowledge. This is fools. This is foolishness and folly. It said it has perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. That is the whole dogma right now of the West. It's spreading, and it's even spreading to the East. This stuff is wickedness on wheels. Satan is working overtime to grab as many of you as he possibly can to take you with him to the lake of fire. That's the end destination of all this. What are you going to do? Like every woman knows, right? Deep in the pit of her heart, right? Every woman knows, even when you're a child, you're playing with dolls, all the thing, you wishing to get married. Everybody knows you're supposed to get married and have a baby then. You knew it in the pit of your stomach. What? Even as a child, you had more wisdom than you did as an adult. How does that make sense?
Yeah,
that's how you know how backwards our people are.
That's right. And one thing I hate is when, especially a lot of younger women that have counseled, that's the first thing that says when I ask them, I says, well, why didn't you marry the guy that you had the baby by? Well, I was too young. Okay, but you wasn't young enough to have a baby. That's the thing. So you can't see, we got to stop making excuses like that and saying that because we made, or I was too young, or I wasn't ready yet. No, we all know right from wrong. At a certain age, we all know right from wrong. All right, common sense. And this is why when you look at the Asian community, they have a strict rule now, and they don't play that. And even if they don't even allow race mixing, and that you'll rarely ever see an Asian person that's with another race. And if they do, their father disowned them. That's just how they do, y'all.
Yeah, they don't play that.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be the same with Israel. When you read Jubilees chapter, I believe it's 30, if any man gave his daughter to a heathen, man, that was it was cutthroat right there. It was a done deal. Couldn't do that. It's a no-go. So we're looking at now, fast forwarding from the 50s to now, we see that we've gone so far backwards in our doings and everything that it's not. And and like brother was bringing out, how Satan had really brought this about and everything through the heathens, and our people just fell for the rope-a-dope. And we look at it now. Now, what about the ones who are trying to do better? All right. So I would say to the ladies who are really trying, and if you have children already, all right, you can repent, but you can't get married, especially if you had children. You technically haven't gotten married to that man you had the babies by. You can't just go out looking for another dude thinking you want to get a second chance. No, your first chance was with the brother you had the kids by. That's it.
I think, right, this dating is new, is relatively new, right?
Yeah.
This whole thing about dating and falling in love and all this other foolishness, right? That's relatively new, right? These you're letting your emotions override you to do anything for this person. Does that sound smart? No, that sounds like a damn wicked evil spirit has come upon you. That's what that sounds like, right? You've been possessed by some damn demon or devil to make you do some foolishness, right? Now, love is an action word, right? It's not about emotion. It's not about feeling. It's about action, right? And so we have to get back from the fairy tale wild emotion that they have now equated love with being, back to the original meaning of love, which is to keep God's commandments, right? Love is the action word meaning to obey God, right? It has nothing to do with some butterflies in the stomach or anything of that nature, right? Because when you're married, right, love does not last like that. You don't have any kind of saying that passion, that deep feeling of, you know what I mean, in the beginning, that it's there strong, like when you meet somebody dealing with feelings, and then after years go by, it wears down a little, right? And you think, oh, what's going on? The relationship is something's going. That's because that's not how a relationship is built in the beginning, right? You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to grow with that person and grow to love that person, right? That's where wisdom takes play, right? Using your sensibilities, and you're not all over the place with untamed emotion, right? 1 John chapter 5, I'm going to read verses 2 and 3. It says, by this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and do what? And keep his commandments, right? That's loving the children of God. That's loving each other. It's keeping the commandments. It has nothing to do about a feeling a butterfly in your stomach or any of that. It's about obeying the Most High. It says, for this, in verse 3, for this is the love of God. So it's explaining you what love is, right? That we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. They're not grievous. They're not going to cause us harm, right? If you keep God's commandments, what happened to Job? When Satan passed over him, he had a hedge around him, right? He had to, he literally asked, he's like, well, how about you? Come on now. You already know why I ain't messing with Job, because you don't put a hedge around him because he's keeping the commandments. That means you obey God and you will get protection. You will get a hedge around you. But it is clear as day that our people have no hedge of protection around them because they refuse to obey God. They refuse to obey Yahweh. They refuse to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments.
And I want to show you what the end result of that one is, because you got to see this. And this applies to the brothers as well as the sisters. Did you have anything else to bring up that scripture?
No, that's it for me.
Okay. So let me show you something, Israel. Go to Luke chapter 11. Let me write this down. Luke chapter 11. Luke chapter 11, and we're going to look at verses 23 to 26. All right, because this is a serious thing. This is, again, this applies both to the men and the women. All right. It says, he that is not with me, and I think you brought this out earlier about, he that's not with me is against me. So he that is not with me is against me. So what does that mean, Israel? If we're not keeping the Torah, if we're not keeping the Torah with all our heart, mind, and soul, then we're against the Most High. We're against the Mashiach.
Imagine fighting against God. Imagine that. Imagine how stupid you got to be to fight against the Most High and think you're going to win. And
see, and that's the thing. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen too. If you keep on fighting and everything. And he that gathers not with me scatters. All right. So what's happening with our people? We this whole thing with the feminism and all that kind of stuff, and what's going on with the weaponizing of our women, it's scattering everything. All right. It says, when the unclean ruach or spirit is gone out of a man, he walks through dry places, seeking rest, and finding none. He says, I will return unto my house whence I came out. And when he comes out, he finds it swept and garnished. And I'm going to tell you today, it's a dangerous thing to keep going back and forth, Israel. And we have a lot of the Pookies and the Ray Rays. They keep going back and forth. But we got these sisters out here that keep going back and forth, can't make up their mind. And then I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Then goes he and takes to him 7 other ruachs or spirits more wicked than himself. And they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Man, that's hard. That's hard hitting. So, sisters and brothers, the Pookies and the Ray Rays, when you go around screwing everything that moves and everything, you are creating so much wickedness against you. All right, sisters, when you go around and you keep opening your legs up and you keep being humble, See, a woman was only supposed to be assigned to one man. That was the original design plan of the Most High. A woman was only assigned to one man, Israel. And now you have when you have women having different babies by different dudes, you know how many times that woman is being humbled, or they have what they call a high body counts. And I heard one woman they was bragging about, like, she had, what was it, like 50 body counts, something like that, and she was only like 22.
Mm.
And she was
Yeah,
talking about she was bragging about it too. I got about 50 body counts. And it's crazy, yo. And so, it's gonna only get worse. And you might be saying, well, why y'all focusing on all the negative stuff? Why y'all focusing on this stuff and everything? How come y'all can't talk about something that makes you feel good? Israel, we got to bring out the wickedness in Israel. We got to bring it out. All right. Praises to the Most High for those who are doing according to the commandments.
huh.
But the ones that need the chastisement from the Most High are the weak links, Israel. What did Paul say? It says that the law is not for a righteous man. So if you're abiding by the law and everything with all your heart, mind, and soul and strength, all right, you're keeping the laws, because as brother read, his laws are not grievous. Name me one law outside of course, the sacrifices. We don't do that no more. And then as far as paying tithes, because there's no Levites. But outside of that, tell me which law that cannot be kept. If somebody can put in the chat box, if there's a law that cannot be kept, put it in the chat box, because I want to know. All right, we can keep these laws, Israel. I mean, there is no excuse, no excuse. All right, and when we go against that, guess what? We're going to suffer as a people. And just because when the children of Israel, when they came out of Egypt, it was only a 11-day journey. It says that in Deuteronomy 2:1. It was only a 11-day journey, but it took them 40 years. Why? Because of a few damn knuckleheads. Well, you may be saying, well, what about the other ones who were keeping the laws? What about the other ones who were doing everything that they could? Hey, it's mass punishment, and it is what it is. Either we're all in it or we're not, Israel. I mean, I don't know how much plainer that I can get with that. Either we're all in it or we're not.
How far did you make it in that verse? Did you read 26 yet?
Yes, I did. I read that already.
Okay.
We can read it again. Go ahead. You want to bring something?
No. I want to read 27 and 28. That was that's interesting too. Why it's there?
Yeah, go ahead.
And it says, and it came to pass as he spoke these things, a certain woman of the company lifted up her voice and said unto him, blessed is the womb that bore you, and the breasts which you have sucked. Right. So talking to Hamashiach, right? That woman was saying, blessed is the womb that bore you, and blessed and the breast which you have sucked, which is good now, because it is a blessing, right? It's showing you right there that's a blessing for a child to be born, right? But pay attention to 28. But he said, yeah, rather blessed are they that hear the word of Yahweh and guard it, right? So it says, yeah, he said, it's good as it is, right, that that the Virgin Mary had me, and I'm able to tell you guys, to come back into the faith, and that this, that, and the third, and I've died for the, that my blood is going to be shed for you guys, this, that, and the third, right? Beyond all of that, it's more blessed if you obey my Father, right? If you obey Yahweh and keep the words that he said, that's better than Mary having me. You see what I'm saying? That's ridiculous right there. That's how important it is to obey God. And God gives women very little things to do, right? There's few verses in here that he talks directly to women, explaining the things that they should do, right? And but it's amazing that out of all the babbling that's going on in Babylon, right, that you see sisters online, every single one, like Brother Daniel was bringing out earlier, that have these online programs, none of them say any of the things that the Most High is telling them to say. It's always the things that are supposed to be in the seat of the Israelite men, period. You know, or they're trying to take a leadership role, or they're trying to do things, anything but what the Most High says. That's the same spirit that Eve had. I mean, like literally, she could have done anything on the whole earth, and that was in the Garden of Eden. She could have done anything. All the different trees, you had talking animals, you had all this different stuff in there. God only told you not to do one damn thing, just one. Just one. You didn't care about all the good stuff that you had. You know what you wanted to do? You wanted to do some damn wickedness and do the one thing that God told you couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Why? You got all of that for free, a
Yeah.
body for free. You would have been able to eat off the tree of life for free. All of this stuff is for free. I mean, like, it's a free gift. Like, it feels good getting a gift from someone, right? Gifting someone, right? When you get a gift from someone, it's a surprise. You say, "Oh, what? I got this for nothing." You didn't have to do anything for it. That's what Hamashiach did for him, and you ain't done nothing for him. And no matter how much you do, you will never be able to give him back as much as he's giving you.
That's
right? That's the sad thing about Eve. She couldn't see that. Out of all the stuff in the earth, right, that the Most High had given Adam and Eve, right? She wanted the one thing that the Most High said he couldn't do. Now, if that's the one thing, imagine this world full of heathens and wickedness when all that they're pushing is tons of stuff you're not supposed to do. So what do you think they're doing? This is why all the advertisement is going towards the women for this stuff. Wickedness, homosexuality. It starts with a woman. How do you get homosexual men? Let's start with bringing up single mother homes. Without the man in the home, right? Where does the sons and the daughters get a perfect or some kind of example of what a man is supposed to be? Right? And a lot of these women are saying, "Oh, well, there are no good men these days. All the good men and they're gone. All these niggas are effeminate. So they don't want to keep a job. So this, that, and the third, right? But at the same time, y'all got to realize that what? Y'all are reaping, y'all are reaping what y'all have sown. These are the same women that have raised up these simple niggas, right?
And it's sad, and this is why you have so many of these young cats living with these women, moving in with these women. Why? Because they were raised by their mother, so they're not really looking for a wife. They're just looking for a mother, and that's why a lot of them have a lot of immaturity issues and insecurity issues, and simps, and have been feminized, all kinds of stuff. Why? Because like there's this one lecturer I like to listen to. I can't think of his name, Kwanzaa or something like that. But he said that you could, no, I don't care what training you got. A woman can never train a boy to be a young boy, to be a man. You just can't. They're gonna have to have some kind of manly influences growing up or something. They're gonna have to, or elder or something, because a woman cannot give that, and the heathens know that. And this is why they incentivized, and that's why they weaponized, and the black, the Israelite woman against the Israelite man, and they started building prison systems because they knew. I'm telling you, these folks, and I don't want to give them credit for being but the Bible did say that they would be wise, and so they sit down at their think tanks hundreds of years before, and hundreds of years in advance, and we can't even see 5 feet in front of us, and they plan this stuff out. Matter of fact, you got special groups, Israel. You got groups of heathens that specifically are designed and trained to sit down and plan out the next 50 to 100 years on black people, so-called Israelites. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that? They plan every little thing. And I'm telling you, these people, they love to observe. So they'll observe how we doing in the hood. They're like, look, y'all, this is working. If we can continue to incentivize these women and give them welfare and keep giving them checks as they have babies, guess what? They're going to continue to have more. Why? Because anytime that you're on some kind of government assistance and you're not doing anything to come off that, you're going to be crippled. You're going to be crippled for life. Just like these ladies we showed you on the video, they're done. They're crippled for life. And they're the age now, and it's like she said, we don't got nowhere to go. What do you think that's a result of? You sitting on your ass and collecting up this money and having babies, and you telling these younger women that they don't need no damn man.
God, right? How are we supposed to raise
You think
leaders?
it's gonna happen? You think that somebody's gonna come along and give you a mansion or something?
Like, and the thing about it, right, too, like, how are you supposed to raise leaders? Like, women can't raise, you know, I mean, like, how are you supposed to raise leaders? It's not gonna work, right? It's always going to be a problem within our nation because women are not going to be able to raise leaders. You can't raise a man. That's why all these dudes now, it's almost come full tilt. A lot of brothers are effeminate and emotional now. Why? Because it's come full circle, right? It's come full circle. You're not going to be able to raise leaders. It's not going to happen.
This is sad. It's just like I'm gonna give you an analogy, okay? Because this thing just didn't happen overnight. All right, give an example. Like when Saul was told to kill his enemies, right? He killed some of them and he spared the good ones. Well, hundreds of years later, they came back and enslaved Israel. Israel, when the Most High, when we break the Torah and go against the Most High, it will take hundreds of years to get back on track. All right, because our people are not crying out collectively for the whole. Come on, Israel. Most of them, we're not keeping the laws. Our people are not even thinking about the laws. I mean, the scripture says that in Isaiah 3:1 says even the ox knows his master, but Israel does not even know. Israel does not even, they don't even care. So the word tells us, Israel, that the majority of our people are not keeping the laws. And it's going to be that way until something major happens. Where it's going to cause our people to cry out.
You know what, too, right? I can't really. You can say that the heathen have influence, right? But at the end of the day, right, the decision is yours. No one has a gun to your head, forcing to do no wickedness or anything like that. End of the day, the decision has always, so the Most High has never taken away our ability to make a decision, right? The decision has always lied at our foot, right? It's either you die for the truth or you or you live for wickedness. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's either or. You got to look at it, right? Like I said, this is all right. The heathens are being driven by Satan. It's because the heathens are lost cause. They can't be redeemed. So they're like Satan's greatest weapon, right? And by that this is why we have secret societies, the Illuminati and things of that nature. Why do you think we have this kind of thing? Right? You know what I'm saying? We have these kinds of things because Hamashiach's real. The Most High is real. Hell is real. The lake of fire is real. The ending is real. It's coming. Armageddon is on the way. These heathens know this, but they're trying to stave it off as long as possible. And how would you stave it off? Right? You don't want Israel to come together as a people. You don't want us to cry aloud and then bring our people together and start keeping the law, statutes, and commandments and start crying out to Most High. They don't want that. So how do you achieve that? You push the dogma of single woman can make it. Women are equal to men. You don't need a man. I can go get me a child from the sperm bank and raise me up my own child. That's not going to create the leaders and the leadership ability that we need as a people to come back to the Most High. Only thing you're doing is creating fags, punks, and effeminate dudes. Every now and then you might have a dude that he might be able to rise up. The Most High touch him, and he might be able to rise up. But the majority of our people are not doing that. And as proof is in the pudding, as you can see right now, the state of our nation. You can look at it right now and you can tell you have not been doing a good job. You have been doing things that are against the scriptures, are against the way of the Most High, and look at our people now. It is not good, right? It's clearly not working.
Hey, Israel, I gave you the wrong scripture. It's Isaiah chapter 1. If you write that down, Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3 says the ox knows his owner and the ass his master's crib, but Yasharel does not know. My people do not consider. That means they don't give a damn. They don't even care. A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity. That's heavy, y'all. Laden with iniquity. When I think of laden, I'm thinking of layers, just layers and layers.
You soak down with sin.
Yeah,
just like somebody just took a bucket And
Exactly.
just poured it all on you. You're just soaked down with sin.
With iniquity.
Laden.
That's the problem. And this
Damn,
is the,
weighed down.
and this is the reason why people cannot see. It's a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters, that have forsaken Yahweh. They have provoked the Holy One of Yasharel unto anger. They are gone away backward.
He's looking at, man, Hamashiach's mad. Why would of course Hamashiach would be mad? Because look, right here, Hamashiach's like, man, I'm gonna have to die for these niggas, man. Dang, I'm gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? They're gone backwards. Why? Of course Hamashiach's mad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You don't think he's upset that we're being wicked, man? Hamashiach was there sweating blood, crying to the Most High, asking him, hey, is there any way possible that I could get out of this? You know, is there any way other possible than dying can I get out of this?
You know, and the crazy thing about this too, you know, it's like we know there's going to be a seed, a remnant from Israel, but I guarantee you, he does not need 44 million Israelites. He doesn't even need 8. To be honest with you. And so don't get it twisted, Israel. Don't get the feeling like, okay, well, you know, just because you're an Israelite and you're a chosen people, don't think that for once that you're entitled. That's a dangerous thing. You know, fall way backwards so quick. We're not. The Most High didn't choose us because, you know, we were entitled. He chose us because, you know, through the promise of Abraham. You gotta understand, Israel. And we're in a situation where we better really pray that the Most High have mercy upon ourselves. And how backwards we've gone. All right. So again,
fear and trembling, right? You know, so what's your favorite scripture?
What's that? Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Revelation 14:12. You know, here's the patience, here's the pay. Matter of fact, let's go there right quick. Glad you brought that up. Yeah. Revelation 14:12, and we'll go to Revelation 22:14. It says, "Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that guard the commandments of Yahweh and keep the and believes and have beliefs of Yahshua, or have faith in Hamashiach."
Right.
Be serious, y'all. And let's go to Revelation 22:14.
So what does that mean, right? So if you have to have the keep the faith of Hamashiach, right, and then you have to keep the law of Yahweh, what does that mean? We have to obey. We cannot be doing out here what these heathens doing. This should actually be simple.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every week, you know, man, we need y'all to spread the message.
Yeah.
We need to spread the message. I know this might be a hard message to hear, but yeah, man, you know, one of us could die tomorrow.
Yeah. Blessed are they that do Yahweh's commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. So if somebody comes and asks, can the law save you? You better believe it, because not keeping the laws will cause you to be lost.
That's right. We're dogs. You know, ain't they say they a bad bitch, right? That's a dog. You ain't gonna be in the kingdom.
Yeah.
You're gonna be out there. Sorcerers, whoremongers, murderers, adulterers, whatsoever loveth and makes a lie. You know, I mean, like all of these things are just folks, as we see, that are not keeping the commandments, right?
And
they're not getting in.
That's right. In Israel, if anybody tells you that you can't, if these black pastors come up to you, these devils come up to you, talking about you can't keep the laws, you challenge them. You have them tell you which laws that you cannot keep.
Facts.
Guarantees you they'll get stuck.
Absolutely. There is no law that you can't keep, especially when they understand that there are no sacrificial laws, because Hamashiach is the sacrifice, right? They have a skewed understanding of the scriptures.
And you know, it's funny because they still want you to pay tithes and everything, even though there's no Levites. Yeah, they'll keep that law. They don't want to.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's not even a law. Then they keep it wrong, because there was never any money given to any other priest, right? There was only crops. There was only crops in the cattle.
That's right.
Only crops and cattle.
Yeah.
And if you had too much in crops and cattle, you gave it to the money changers when you got to the city, and then you got the crops and cattle back to put into the storehouses, right? The people of Israel, the Levites, you saying you can't eat gold.
That's right. So, you know, You tell them brothers and sisters in the church that they're gonna give an offering. Put some corn in the offering plate. Put a fruit, put a banana or something in there.
Or just tell them to show you that, man. Show me in the scriptures where they were giving money to the priest. Yeah, I want to see that part. You know, say show me that real quick. You can't find out one scripture. That's why Paul says that he worked hard so he wouldn't ask the people for nothing. Right. That's why I get upset whenever I see these camps. Any wicked ass niggas out here be asking for money. You know what I mean? Got begging buckets on the side and trying to ask for donations to their GoFundMe. Man, nigga, get a job.
Got people out there selling Wilder.
You know what I'm saying? He's doing all kinds of stuff, right? When you saw it in the scriptures in Acts, right? They would bring their stuff, they would sell their homes and all of this things like that to join the to join the mission, right? To do the work. Hey, if you're gonna do the work, if you're gonna be out there, hey man, give up all you got. If you're going to, and then the people that you're working with, those are the folks that are supposed to give to you. You're not supposed to, be asking the people that you're the same people you're witnessing to. You're not supposed to be asking them for money. Imagine that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the same folks you're witnessing to. Well, I want you to come to the Lord. I want you to come and understand that we got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. But if you could please just throw a couple of dollars in my beggar's bucket. That's wicked as hell, right? The scriptures say it is worse to die, and it is worse to die than to be a beggar.
Yep.
Begging on money from the homicide, man, you should be grateful that you're even able to even say these things. You know what I'm saying? That you're able to even, give the gospel to anyone. You know what I'm saying? To make an understanding for anyone. Because even if you get one soul, if one soul decides to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, out of any of the people that you decided to talk to, man, a multitude of your sins can be erased. A multitude, that's.
And see, that's how we can reverse the thing, Israel. Again, but our people have to want it. It's just like you can tell, you can lead our people to the you can lead a horse to the water, but the horse is gonna have to drink. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell people to like stop buying these Nikes and stuff like that. But you know what? People got to make a decision. They're gonna do.
That's wicked as hell, Ock. Dang. They sold pig feet plates after church. Good gracious, boy. I'm telling you, boy, that's one of the times Most High had to wink at you. Had you known, boy, that's true.
But Israel, I want to know if you have any questions relating, like especially the sisters, if you have any questions about your role as a woman or the role as a man. If anybody have any questions, because we're gonna go ahead. We told you we're gonna be a very long lesson. I'm gonna let y'all get back to the Shabbat. But if you have any questions concerning the lesson,
or what you can do as a sister, right, to try to help your people out. Right. We can do that too. Brother Daniel, and I think Brother Daniel has a flyer that he could print out for you, or he could send you over the email, right, for you to give to the other sisters. And then we'll even have a custom flyer made for the sisters, for the daughters of Zion, right? We'll get on that. And then for you guys, if anyone wants to email us, we'll go ahead. Give us about a week. And so by next Shabbat lesson, I'll have something for y'all. So y'all can go ahead and if you got sisters in the faith that y'all want to just give it to something not so abrasive, right? Because if you're already in the faith, you understand what's going on, but something that could just, help them understand that, what they're supposed to be doing, is a little better than what they have been doing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Israel, look, when we go hard, Israel, you got to understand the message is to the lost sheep, because that's what the Hamashiach told us to do. Give this message to the lost sheep, not the righteous sheep, the lost sheep. Because I know some people may say, well, how come you guys should focus on people who are keeping the commandments and focus on those who are doing good? Well, why do we need to focus on them? Because they're keeping the laws. They're keeping the laws with all their heart, mind, and soul. We don't have to worry about them. It's the lost sheep, Israel. Remember, we're only as strong as our weakest link. So we got to concentrate on that weak link. And unfortunately, the weak link are the baby mamas and the pookies and the ray rays.
If you remember, like I said, back in Acts, once they understood the truth, right? They were, of course, they would check back in, but they were off doing the work too, right? They were off, teaching people, and they were doing it because, we can't see, we can't stay the same size, right? We have to continue to get bigger. That way, we know that the gospel is spreading, right? We know if we continue to stay the same size and we're not growing, then then we know we're not doing the work. Somebody's not doing the work, right? And we got to do work. These works have to be done, right? We have to seal the 144,000. These works have got to be done. You can't be lazy, right? You can't be sitting home. You can't be all of a sudden when you get off work, you want to light up a blunt and chill, and now you don't want to do nothing. No, you know what I'm saying? Oh, when you get off you want to have your nice cold beer or something. No, you got to get off your ass. You got to get in the scriptures, and you got to talk to your people.
Yeah.
You have to do something. Everybody at work should know that you are Israelite, or should understand that you know that you keep this gospel, right? Or you should tell them some kind of way that you're an Israelite, man or woman, right? If you're a woman, tell them that, hey, well, whatever, elder that hey, send them over there for them to learn something, right? These things should be growing, right? If they're growing, that means that what? We're keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
If this thing is growing. And that's how it's supposed to be. We're not supposed to be stagnant as a people, right? You're not supposed to be scared. Hey, like I said, Brother Daniel and I, we'll come up with a flyer. Brother Daniel already has a good flyer that it's like universal, right? But sisters, if you want to, give to the brother, give to your sisters, we're gonna make one up for you. All right, we're gonna hook you up.
All right, Israel, looks like y'all in tune. You see no questions?
God.
So Israel, we want to go ahead and get into the Shabbat of Holy Rest.
That's right.
And look, take this time, go back to some of the videos and everything, and just recap on scriptures. Spend time with your spouses and your children, teaching the scriptures. And this is a good time to teach these young ladies. Good time, brothers, teach these young sons, so that they can grow up and be the man that they're supposed to be.
God.
Right?
All right,
We're gonna have to start working hard like never before, because it's gonna come a time where we're not gonna get this message. We're not gonna be able to get this message out, because everything is gonna be considered. Everything that we're doing is gonna be considered a hate crime, and a lot of the channels are gonna get shut down. And guess what, Israel? We're gonna have to do like the olden days. We're gonna have to start traveling and getting the message out that way. So, because it's gonna come a time. I mean, social media is gonna always exist, but it's just not gonna be with the gospel. Because they're making laws as we speak right now to censor even further the truth. So just that's why we tell you all the time, build these precepts up. Don't get to the point where you're depending so heavily on somebody just to give you the word, and then you're not going back and studying the scriptures that were given. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Israel, I want at least, right? Now, this is light. Now, like I said, I don't expect everybody to do it, because sometimes, the Most High is, everybody got a different fruit of the Spirit, right? So I don't expect everybody to be able to do everything, but I do expect you to try, right? Now, I want at least 10 to 20 people email Brother Daniel for his, for his flyer, right? Once the next week come out, we'll do the one strictly for the women. And then, we want to see more emails to either my Brother Daniel or myself, right? Because we'll both have that one, right? But I want this week, I want you guys to be emailing Brother Daniel for a copy of that flyer, all right? It's not hard to hand out a flyer, right? It just pretty much just has the scriptures on it, and it's just telling you, what's going down.
And as a matter of fact, you know what, too? I'll email it to you, but I'll put it tonight. I'll go ahead and put it on the Shabbat post I just posted. So on the Seed of Israel channel, I will put it on that channel so you can get it, and I'll put it on the Mind of Brotherhood as well too.
God, if you look on our description, right, our emails are always on our description, right? If you look on our channel pages, our emails are going to be in the description, right? That's how you can get in contact with us. There's no misspelling, so you guys could easily be able to get in contact with us.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Well, Israel, hey, look, it's been real. And we pray that you were edified, that you got some scriptures that you can go back and really study. But again, Israel, we're tired of this place. We're tired of getting our backs beat in. At least I am. I can only speak for myself. I don't know about you all, but if you love getting your backs beat in, then I don't know what else to tell you. But
please don't let me down, Israel. Don't let me down. Don't let yourself down. Don't let the Most High down. Right. I want to see y'all email Brother Daniel and get a copy of those, of that flyer. And then I want you to at least hand out, try to make it a goal, man, 1 to 2 flyers a week. Try to make sure you at least give one person a flyer, 1 to 2 flyers a week. That's not that difficult, right? That's that's a little bit of work we're asking for you, but that's going to go a long ways towards you, towards the work that you're supposed to be doing in the first place, right? So let's try to please get on that. I expect at least 10 to 20 people to email Brother Daniel this week. All right. His email is in the description, or you can go and you can email Mind of the Brotherhood.
That's right.
Right. That is also in the description as well. We also can read all emails there. All right. And that's it for me, Israel Yashala. Brother Daniel is going to email the flyers. He has flyers for you, Brother NBA. Okay, he has flyers for you. It's going to explain the scriptures, good pertinent scriptures to you to lead you to who you are as a people, things that you can, just the basics, right? Just to get you started, right? It's an Israelite starter kit. All right.
I'll put the link. What I'll do is I'll put the link in the Mind of the Brotherhood page. This last video we did, I'll put a link in there, and then what I'll do is I'll pin the comment so it'll be at the top.
Okay, Con, that's all praises.
Yep. I can just download from there. So just look for it in this video. So when this video posts, I'll have it in the comment section and link, and you can just download it from there.
And we can see how many downloads it is too. I want to let y'all know. So we want to we will be paying attention to the Israelites to make sure that our people out there trying to get this work done. So
NBA too. So just give me a little time and everything, and then tonight I'll have. But before I cut off, I'll definitely have it on this channel and everything in the chat box. So.
All right, yes, Allah. Much love. Hope you have a blessed Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Stay strong.